Redevelopment Commission meeting for August 6, 2024. Please stand while we begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do a roll call vote to determine the quorum. Anita Faith.
Here.
Bobby Brooks.
Here.
John Spencer.
Here.
Chuck Deaton.
Here.
And Derek Combs is also present. Do have a quorum. You're provided a copy of the minutes from our previous three meetings, July 2nd, July 17th, special session, and July 17th, executive session. Ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Benita, second.
I second.
Is there any further discussion or questions? Call for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. There's no presentations tonight. Provided a copy of the claims from the previous month. Ask for a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Motion by John Spencer. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any further discussion? Call for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. There's no one signed up for public comment. Moving on to the consultant report from the Wheatley Group. Jill?
Thank you. One correction, you get this in your meeting packet, so one correction that I have is the Short Street building purchase. That's actually closing tomorrow. I think I put the 8th in what I sent out, but it's actually tomorrow. So hopefully we can do that. We did a phase 1 environmental that was conducted. The survey is being finalized. So those are things that we would need to RFP. Not only is it a good idea to get those things before we purchase it, but then especially the survey and the phase 1 for the RFP process, along with the appraisals that we received, will all be utilized if we decide to RFP that out for development. So then later on the agenda, we'll talk a little bit more about that project. The Charlestown Landing DNR State Park entrance. So the city applied for both Lilly Endowment funds and Ready 2.0 funds. Unfortunately, at this time, neither, the project was not selected for either one at this point in time. So we'll go back to the drawing board to see how we can get that accomplished or be ready in case there is some additional funding at some point in time. Then Highway 62 lift station construction, I'm kind of bringing you up to speed on that. It's something that we've talked about in previous meetings about maybe contributing some money towards the construction of that lift station. And the reason being that redevelopment would contribute is that one of the reasons it needs to be relocated is because of the forest edge development. So we had some money in there. We are in the process right now, we being redevelopment, city, wastewater, looking at how to finance that project. So I wanted to put that on your radar screen. There was some discussion about maybe additional financing from redevelopment. So that's still just kind of out there. Nothing has been presented. As soon as something's presented, I'll let you know, but I wanted to bring that up. It will also, something at some point will go before the council as well, once we get all the financing options put together. I think we still have, and I keep putting it on my report, we still have no guidance on it though, about the spending plan that we're gonna have to submit, that has to be approved by the mayor and the council and submitted to the state by December 1. We still have no guidance on what format we need to use, what forms we need to use, any of that. But the premise behind that is that redevelopment would be mandated to stick with that spending plan for that next year, for 2025. So we work on, I know, as you all know, we have work sessions or about what projects you want to do and your spending plan, but this is a little bit more concrete, I guess, and submitted to the state. I'll keep my eye out for that. I have Donna's office, Donna Coomer's office, and she's got her eye out for anything that comes through in that respect, as far as what format we need to do that in. But in the meantime, we'll just go on as we had before. I think I'm talking with some other communities that have redevelopment commissions and talking with Baker Tilly, it's something that can be very generalized. For instance, if we want to, as much as acquisition or something very general, it wouldn't have to be very specific, like you might see when we do our cash flows and talk about specific projects. So we'll keep you informed as I learn. I'll let you all know. But it is something we'll probably have to address in October, November, which is soon.
Yes.
So, does anyone have any questions about anything else on my report or the things that I talked about?
No. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, we have the Greenway Park Bank Stabilization Project Contract Award, HWC. You want to come forward and present that?
And these are things that you have in your packet as well.
Yeah, hopefully you all have a copy of the recommendation letter, the bid tab that we reviewed from the bid opening a few weeks ago. I had since,
You want a copy?
sure, thank you, provided the copy of the notice of award, which would be the next document we would need to sign to engage with the contractor if there were no questions. But I guess real quick, if there were any final.
The alternate, explain that alternate, we chose the alternate.
Yeah, we didn't really explain very well. When calling it a half wall, I understand the confusion. So basically, it's more like a 3/4 wall. So we just decrease that surface area, bring it down a little bit so that edge might have to do a little bit of sloping. But the majority of your cost is in those big blocks. So if we can minimize that, we'll significantly, as you can see the difference. There was what, 25,000, 30,000 difference. And really that's a unit cost number, so we'll track that as we go, and as we're out there, it's kind of hard to draw it versus what we'll actually need in the field. I think the alternative is more accurate to what we'll need, but there's probably a little bit of fluff in how we actually stack them to make the most utilizing of the square footage. But I think that is a true number that we can hold to. Knowing what the budget is, we'll make sure that we do not exceed that number.
Do you know where those blocks are coming from?
He told me the company that we're going with, I hadn't even heard of them. They are kind of like a direct, they get the blocks themselves out of the course, so they're kind of cutting out the middleman. That's why their number was so much better. And if you saw their bid, this is what they do. They showed multiple projects of exactly these large blocks. So I'm very thankful that they found this project and did it, because I can use their guidance on exactly how it all goes together, because I didn't go to school for stacking blocks. But anyway.
You did Lego when you were young.
Yeah, I did at a younger age. So I do think we're in the right position with the right contractor, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this project progress. We're going to be out there very frequently to make sure it looks as best it can.
Excellent, thank you.
So these are natural stone blocks?
They're natural stone blocks, yeah.
I think that's nice.
Yeah, it should look really nice.
Would you reiterate the timeframes for them too, the substantial completion, if you remember? I think final completion was the end of October.
Yeah, bottom line is we want it to be done, actually, I don't want to be still in mid-October. So we're hoping for a quick turnaround. If we're getting the notice of award, if we can get that signed today, they're ready to jump on this too. I want to get their performance and payment bond. And once we have that, we can issue all the contract documents, and then if legal agrees with all the documentation, we can issue the notice to proceed within, by next week anyway, but even sooner if they can get their bond information taken care of. And the sooner we get that, the sooner they can schedule getting their blocks and getting that project started. Because I told them I'd rather be done by the beginning of October, so they want to get done as quickly as they can as well. So that's the goal, do a quick turnaround on the contract documents. But even with this, is enough for them to get started, and I'll start pushing from there.
You need any action from us on this?
Yes, Matt's gonna
We
address
do.
that.
Before I make a recommended motion, so Zach, you're recommending the mandatory alternative of the $145,300.
Correct.
Okay. So I would recommend that the redevelopment commission, make a motion to award, the Greenway Park Stream Bank Stabilization Project to Riley's Excavating LLC in the amount of $145,300, and authorize Derek as president to sign the notice of award and construction contract outside of a meeting, subject to legal review.
If I don't need to restate that motion verbatim, I will be more than happy to make that motion.
Okay? Yeah, you don't have to, thankfully.
And I would be happy to second that.
Is there any further discussion?
Riley's is a very well-known, reputable company,
Yep.
so I'm happy going with Riley's.
And I thank you for your work on that.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
There's no further discussion. I'll ask for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I've got
Thank
three
you
of
so
these for him to sign.
Perfect.
If you can wait till
Ah,
we finish, he'll do it. I have the-
Okay, thank you. Copy back.
Yeah.
So this question is not redevelopment per se, but it is tangentially related to what we're talking about. What, and if I was on social media, I'd probably know the answer, so I apologize. What are they doing, what's the excavator doing down by the H&R Block
I had
building?
that question too.
Yeah, I was curious too. Happy to answer that question. There was a bottleneck issue with the sewer line the force main that comes under from Thompson under the road there. And so that is actually a sewer project. They are repairing that pipe. Essentially, you have a large pipe coming into a small pipe, coming to a large pipe, and that doesn't work well. So clearing up the bottleneck issue, they should be finished. It shouldn't be a very long project, and they're not going to have to disturb Market Street, so it's just there in the park.
Nice.
I anticipate that it'll be either mostly done or done before this project starts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to our new business, we have the Short Street demolition engineering proposal from the Wheatley Group.
Thank you. Once we felt like we were getting closer to purchase the Short Street property, then we set out to get some assistance in doing some bid specs for the demo of that building in hopes to start as soon as we took the property. It took me a little bit to get a company that was willing to do that. So what you had in front of you, and I apologize that I didn't go out in the packet and over the weekend, but did on Monday. So it's from American Structure Point, and they are proposing to do the bid specifications, help during the bidding phase as far as reviewing bids and those types of things. And then I told them that we could do the advertising and all of those things that the city does every day, but we needed, technical help. And then also some, I'll call it inspection, but it's more observation during the demo, just to make sure things are the way they should be. I figured where the location of the project is, that somebody from the city is going to be watching it on a regular basis, but it'd be good to have them there as well. So they have presented a proposal to do that for $48,200 that I would ask for you to, someone to make a motion to.
48,000 for, and what are they gonna do?
$48,200, they're gonna do the specifications, the demo specs. They're going to help us through the bidding process, and then
Okay.
they'll do the observation
A
after.
little bit of everything,
Mhm.
And
Except the
they'll,
advertising,
they'll prepare the RFP as well. or-
Yes.
except for demo.
Yes,
except for the.
they're not going to demo it, they'll
Right.
have to get, but we felt like the cost of that might be over the threshold in which you'd have to get competitive sealed bids. We feel like it might be over $150,000, which is your limit. We could get quotes otherwise, which would be a little bit less cumbersome process.
Right.
So that's why we sought them out.
Is that cost, you feel that cost is reasonable? Okay. I make a motion that we approve using this company at that cost for this process. More specific than that, Matt?
Yeah, I think that's sufficient. I would just, American Structure Point, Inc. is the company.
I wrote that into your motion, John.
Thank you.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second by Chuck, is there any further discussion? Call for a vote to approve, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The schedule on that, as Zach said, you know, it wants to be done well before October 31st. With Greenway Park, piece of that building's also an important piece of the holiday festivities. In speaking with Structure Point, they said we would have really had gotten started in June to be able to make sure that that building was down by the end of October. So we're gonna work through this process. I'm not gonna give them notice to proceed until after we know we have that building. And then we'll work through it and have it bid, similar to what we did with, what we initially started with Greenway Park. Had it bid this year and then started in January.
Only thing, yeah, I was gonna say, the only thing I was looking at, you definitely don't want nothing up for community days, and you definitely don't want nothing up for during Christmas.
Right.
So, I agree with 100% with that.
And we felt like, in speaking with the mayor, the drop dead date before Christmas was the 31st of October, and
Yep.
they were not comfortable with that. And in thinking about it, you need to give people more than the 14 days required to bid it to get good prices, and that gives people some work to look forward to for the beginning of the year. So that's what schedule we're on.
Nice.
I like that. That concludes our new business for this evening. Is there any further discussion?
See you next time.
Anyone has?
See you tomorrow morning. Tim.
If there's no further discussion, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Please sign the claims.